Howdy, I'm Lee Wilson, and this is TGO Wyoming. And today, I'm going to be going over the Taurus 24/7 Pro Compact. It's an excellent little handgun. We're going to go over some of the fine little features of this weapon. It makes an excellent concealed carry piece. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to jump right into it. Alright, so first things first, we're going to check the gun and make sure it's clear. You can see there's nothing in there. We'll do a physical check, a visual check. No magazine. Both magazines are unloaded. So now we have that done, we'll get to showing you what the pistol's about here. The 24/7 Pro C is Taurus's second or third entry really into the pro concealed carry market. What this is a miniaturized version of the 24/7 Pro. Now, there are two incarnations of the 24/7 series. There was the 24/7 original, which did not have the cocked indicator and the decocker. But then there was also the 24/7 Pros, which do have the decocking function on them. So, what we have here is the Pro Compact. It has a 3.3-inch barrel, which is very nice, still gets you decent accuracy. True Heinie 3-dot sights, actually line up quite well. We have a cocked indicator. We do have a loaded chamber indicator, which the little bar right here by the ejector, that when there's actually a round in the chamber, that'll pop out and you'll see red. You can physically and visually inspect that. The cocked indicator, unlike, let's say, Springfield XD, you can't actually physically tell if the gun is cocked. You have to have a visual inspection. It does have a decocker and a manual safety. So you can carry it cocked and locked like a 1911, which is how I prefer to carry it. Keeps my manual of arms the same. So we have up for safe, up again for the decock. It is a machined slide with dovetailed Heinie sights that are also screwed in there. You do have the Taurus security system, the TSS, which when you get in your case, you don't get a whole lot of goodies with this gun. But you do get these little keys, which obviously you can tell I've never used. Make sure the gun is decocked. Stick the key in there. Turn the gun, and now you can no longer work the action. You cannot pull the trigger. So if you're going to be leaving your gun at home for an extended period of time, then you can go ahead and leave it set up that way and it'll work. It's a polymer frame with a very unique striker design. Since it is a striker setup designed as a lightweight polymer gun, you're going to have a single action, double action trigger. Under normal circumstances, the gun fires under single action. But if for some reason you have a hard primer or your gun doesn't go off, you can let the trigger out and recycle to a double action. 95% of the time, the round is going to go off again. And then you're back into single action mode. It comes with two magazines, one flush fit 10-round magazine. This is the 45 ACP version. So 10 rounds of 45 definitely get you home, get you safe. Fits nicely in the hand. Taurus has their ribber grip, and this is not a actual rubber grip. This is just a ribbed kind of hard plastic grip, which for me personally fits my hands very well. I find this gun to be exceedingly comfortable, and due to its size, it's comfortable to carry all day. Now when things get hairy, you also get a 12-round magazine with a grip extension. Now that grip extension brings this up to the same size as a full-size 24/7 grip. And again, no 12 rounds. One thing to note is if you end up getting extra grips, and I have not found a resource for more grip extensions, you can operate the gun with a spare 12-round magazine. It just pinches your finger a little bit. But in an emergency situation, it does operate without it. You have 3 fire controls here. You have your safety selector, decocker, your slide stop, and your takedown pin right here. Some people complain that this is a little bit too close together. I personally have never had any issue running the controls of this gun. Slide locks back, I'm going to slap a new mag in, I'm going to do a grip and rip, and I'm good to go. My thumb rests nicely on the safety. You pull it out of your holster, come down, get your proper firing grip, and you're good to go. I've never had any issues with my thumb accidentally hitting anything it's not supposed to be hitting. Another point on the frame here are the memory pads. And these are molded into the frame, and these allow you to, one, a good place to put your finger when the gun comes out of the holster before you're ready to fire. Excuse me. And two, it offers you another thumb index point when you're achieving a proper firing grip. So when you have this gun ready, your thumb can ride in there, and you're going to have yet another point of contact on that firearm. That's going to make for more controllable recoil. Speaking of recoil, this little bugger does kick. I mean, it's a 23 ounce, 24 ounce gun, and it's small, it's tiny, it's light, and it's 45, so don't expect the recoil to be light and pleasant like a 9mm. It isn't horrible like anything like shooting a 44 mag, but you know, don't go into this gun thinking that it's going to be easy to shoot. It does take practice. So disassembly is really easy. You lock your slide back and you have one takedown pin. My only complaint is you twist the pin and you pull the pin completely out. This has been fixed on the new generation of 24/7s. They have a 24/7 G2 compact being released, which is actually a little bit nicer version than this. It has a dehorned slide, a little reprofiling of the frame, a different trigger safety, and a Glock style takedown. However, this one's still not bad. You pull out your pin, you release your slide, you pull your trigger, and the whole gun comes apart. Internally, the slide does ride on metal rails, so you don't have to worry about having anything going wrong with that. It's all pressed in there, pinned in there, and all the actual important working components are metal. So that's one thing I do really like about this little gun. You're running on a captured guide rod. Very easy to take out and install. Your barrel lifts out just as everything else does. You can see it's a short little barrel. One thing I always recommend with any new gun, but it was especially pertinent with this one, is when you buy it, polish the feed ramp. A little bit of flitz goes a long ways towards good, reliable feeding. Reassembly is very easy. It's pretty much just like everything else. One thing is make sure your barrel has indeed fallen down. Now there's a little notch on that takedown pin. You kind of twist it in there, pop the whole thing back together, do a function check, make sure it is operating properly. As far as operation goes, I have had very few issues with this gun. It's still relatively new to me, and in the break-in period, I have only about 400 rounds through it. I've had a few failure to feeds, no failure to ejects, and predominantly it's pretty much the magazine is the only issue I see with it. When you hold it, sometimes if you're putting some funky pressure on the magazine, occasionally when you have a full loaded mag, it will not fully strip the round off the mag and load it in the chamber. So I've never had to do it with any of the 12 round mags, and I've never had any other 24/7 do it. So I'm not terribly concerned about it. You just have to seat your mag and really get a good solid seating on that, and then it goes. As far as function goes, like I said, it's a very simple pistol. Pretty much point and shoot. All your controls are in a good operable place. Come up, fire, and you're good to go. And like I said, the 3-dot Heinie sights are very easy to pick up. They do have a little bit of groove to them. There is enough of a shelf here on that sight that if you need to do a cocking maneuver on your belt, you can generally grab it with your belt as long as you're wearing a stiff belt. One thing to note that I find important and pertinent to this firearm, especially in a concealed carry situation, is the Blackhawk Serpa mag carriers designed for the 9 and 40, the double stack mag carriers, fit the Taurus 45 mags perfectly. They will not fit the Glock 45 mags. The Glock 21 mags will not go in the double mag carriers from Blackhawk. But the Taurus mags fit wonderfully. It's a fairly slim gun. Overall, I don't know exactly what the dimensions are. But it's light, it's easy to carry. Excuse me. One of the only issues I found that is a non-functional issue are holster options. You're very limited on holsters. Essentially, Phobos makes a Taurus holster, and you're limited to like Uncle Mike's, generic nylon holsters. What I've been doing is running Blackhawk holsters made for the Springfield XD subcompact, and they have fit exceedingly well. The profiles are slightly different, but since the trigger guard, which has the trigger hook right there, in case you want to do that, which I wouldn't recommend, the trigger profile is the same, so you can fit it in that holster comfortably, and it still maintains good retention. Now granted, that is not advised by Blackhawk, and I'm not advising you here on Two Guys Outdoors to do that. It's pretty much a do-at-your-own risk, but for me, it's worked out quite well. The mag release is really simple and easy to get to. High enough profile. It is also reversible. You can remove it if you're a lefty. You need to get to your mag release right there, or if you prefer to do the finger release, which I know some people that like that. For me, the mag release works exactly where it should every time. The mags drop free cleanly, except for when they're loaded. When they're loaded, they stick in there a little bit. So that is one thing to note. If you have a fully loaded 10 round or 12 round mag, you're going to have to grip and rip to get your mag out. Now that's pretty much all I can think of for this right now. It is available with tritium night sights. It's just not a bad little deal. I always recommend tritium. I do not have tritium on these, and I don't have the aftermarket ones yet. But overall, I'm really pleased with this little gun. I carry it every day. I trust my life to it, and I know there's a lot of Taurus naysayers out there, but with their 24/7 series, their 24/7 G2s, the OSSs, I see absolutely no reason to not trust your life to this gun. As with everything, it does require a break-in period, and I have noticed this gun becoming more reliable the more rounds I put through it. So as soon as I hit the 500 yard mark, or 500 round mark, not yard mark, I will do a video update on this and let everybody know how it's shooting, and then I'll do another video update again at about 1,000 rounds. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the look at the Taurus 24/7 Pro C DS. It's a good little gun, and if you happen to pick one up, it'll treat you real well. Alright, until next time, goodbye.